You had a sneak at our Wise Mirror movement, which is a mindset, a philosophy, as we talk about, that we really need a very deeply positive and abundant mindset for humanity that we call Utopia, as a flip from me to we, scarcity to abundance, from fear to love, and so on. A wise community of conscious leaders that we have, and Roy's been very much part of it, integrating ancient wisdom using exponential technologies such as AI, blockchain, IoT, biotech, augmented virtual reality, mixed reality, holography. We're also currently working on a proposal for the UN on the Sustainable Development Goals, number 18, which we are very much toying around a term called coheartability that I had coined, which is about connected humane consciousness, where we really bring heart to heart connection, rapid adaptability, coherent states, and together for humanity being really at the core of it. Would love your perspective on how can we wise mirror the world, and your wisdom on how can we collaborate on building this wise futures that we really called awakened intelligence, which is really that progress from that old AI, from the narrow to the broader and super intelligence, the really then the awakened intelligence where really humanity is a lot more entailed with a holistic understanding of where kind of man and machine can really be in a lot more coherent states.
You used the word immersive before. See, we are immersed in a kind of global economy, which is dollar determined, and dollar thrives on oil. Without oil, the power of dollar will be very badly compromised unless the US goes back to being a very big exporter again. It'll be very difficult.
Right.
I'm just taking that as an example to illustrate, that this kind of thinking that we have. Today we assume a reality. It's so strong, the idea of, say, dollar, or the idea of fossil fuel, like gasoline, petrol, diesel. It's so important. Coal, natural gas. This so petroleum dependent this world is at the moment. You think that this is forever, but actually it's not forever.
Right.
I'll give you a simple example. 3 days ago, we saw that US scientists have made a breakthrough in net energy gain with fusion. Briefly, what it means is that to create fusion energy, you must, at great pressure, you must compress and bring lighter elements together, and it releases 1,000,000 times more energy than what fossil fuel can do.
Correct.
And the point of net energy gain there is that till now fusion energy, the amount of energy required to generate it was more than the amount of energy that you got out of it, right? So now the net gain thing has happened. It means that you can actually create an endless supply of energy in the world in the future if this matures.
Right.
And it also does not have dangerous radioactivity. I think it may have short-lived radioactivity, which is controllable. So this is like some dream scenario.
Right.
Then you have a cleaner world, carbon footprint will reduce, and humans don't have to fight over energy. Everyone can have a better life. The question comes about with what is the kind of wisdom you will have when you create it. If you say, like, I will own it, I'll apportion it out.
Yeah.
Then there is a little bit of foolishness in that. And I will tell you what I mean by that. A natural disaster in any country is not a national disaster. It is always an international disaster. The Himalayas, the glaciers melting is an international disaster. If the green turtle becomes extinct, it's not a disaster on the beach where it came and
So true.
laid its eggs. It's a disaster for the planet. So if you if you say I will not allow
Hmm.
have hydrogen fuel or new fusion energy to be used in countries that I don't like,
Yeah.
that country's pollution
Right.
it will affect you also. See, this common sense.
Exactly.
It does not matter how much we know.
Yeah.
We are not wise enough to understand what we have. None of the elements recognize national boundaries.
Hmm. Hmm.
The sky wraps you.
Exactly.
Magnetic radiation
Yeah.
does not understand boundaries. The water,
Nature does not.
the
Everything-
Pacific Ocean, the east coast here,
Yeah.
that water
Mhm.
is the same water that is on the shores of my country, India.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
the air is the same.
Yes.
Clouds move everywhere.
Yeah.
Like trees, pollinate and propagate. The seed does not recognize national boundaries. This whole idea,
Yep.
nothing in the 5 elements understands national boundaries. Okay, so if there is pollution in Australia,
Yeah.
it is it's pollution of the planet. It's not of a country,
Totally.
of a nation state. So this wisdom is not there at the moment,
Correct.
because you have oil locked in one place,
Yeah.
it flows to another place, and you control how it flows, and you are making money.
Hmm.
This has not served the world well, like COVID showed, for instance. In a connected world, it moves everywhere.
Right.
COVID is probably the first disease
Yeah.
that came to this extent
Hmm.
from the rich to the poor. It came from the developed world
Yeah.
by airplanes, to the
Right.
underdeveloped, and it went from the cities to villages.
Yeah.
There is a lesson
It's
in
just
that.
massive wake up. Yeah. That's right.
But it doesn't seem like that. You see how
Right.
people talk, it doesn't seem like that.
True.
So I'm saying the future has to be
Hmm.
a group of internationalists, globalists,
Mhm.
who speak not for humanity alone, they speak for the planet
Yes.
and decide, because the human has been possible
Hmm.
because of a long evolutionary process which we don't fully understand yet.
Right.
We're just too arrogant. We don't understand this yet. And unless we change the way we think,
Hmm.
we can't change anything.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's so true.
So I feel the future of humanity
Hmm.
is to say, yeah, technology is very good.
Mhm.
Human search for knowledge will never stop.
Mhm.
It is the essential of humans, essential nature of humans,
Yes.
to be curious and to be looking and to be learning all the time and to be innovating.
Exactly.
That will happen, but that needs to happen for a better planet.
Mhm.
Only if there's a better planet
That's
with
right.
all its creatures
Yes.
can humans also thrive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll kill the planet ourselves first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think amazing thoughts there. Really, that's what we need. Much more prevalent, and I think the climate change, activists out there, and certainly COP28. I think that's where we need this voice much stronger and more profound. You're so true.
One last thing I want to say about climate change. You
Yeah.
saw the denial about climate change that's happened for at least 40 years. Every last 10 years would have had 8 of the hottest summers in history. For instance. But you keep on pretending it happened only this year. No, you can't pretend anymore. It is real. Climate change is real. Look at the havoc that's happened in Australia this year.
We've seen everything:
yeah.
fires, floods, you
Yeah.
name it. I mean, and you yourself in the last few days, as we've been traveling together, the amount of wind and the sort of
In a single
extreme
day,
sort of
we had
weathers.
all weather.
All weathers, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So true.
Yes.
Interesting.